this is the second part of the video on the causative, so this is going to be about the active causative. It's for students, it's an extension of the active causative. They actually don't learn about it a lot in schools and not really taught it, but I personally think it's really, really important. It's an important part of the language that we have to explain to them. So they learned in the previous class, or maybe earlier in the same class with you, have something done and get something done. And then moving on to the active. The active is the same as when we're just talking about normal sentences in the active and the passive. In the active we know who is doing the action, so we mention them. So we can say to have someone do something, or to get someone to do something. Now this is the complicated part because of the to infinitive here with the word get. So it's a good idea to write it on the board. Give them some examples. Here we use the examples of having your hair cut and getting your hair cut. Here you can say, oh, I have Jane cut my hair, or I get my mum to cut my hair. So if you put them like this in a list of 1 to 4, it makes it easier to move on to games and other activities. And one example is to look at the idea of needing a makeover. Like, oh my goodness, look at the state of me, I really need a makeover. Help me, what can I do? Give me some advice, tell me how I can sort this face out. So they might give you some ideas like, oh yeah, you should have your hair cut, you should get your teeth whitened, or get your teeth straightened. And actually that's some really good vocabulary, because they might not realise that taking an adjective such as white or straight or wide, or yeah, and you put the suffix en and it makes it into a verb. So whitened, straightened, lengthened, widened. Very good vocabulary that you can go over while you're talking about this. Other things, I don't know, you can it's not a good idea to get your sister to pierce your ears. Yeah, not talking from experience. So that's one activity. Another activity are little scenarios. So depending on the students that you're working with, for example, you might have a project manager, or a head teacher or something like that. So people who are in charge of situations, or even if they're not, it's fine. Just get them to imagine they're working in a hospital, and oh my goodness me, there are maggots falling from the ceiling. What do they do about it? How do they delegate this kind of situation? So they would be saying things like, I will get the cleaning lady to check that out, or I will have the problem finished or sorted by next week. So you can kind of imagine like a complaint scenario, or a customer face-to-face situation, and that's a really good way of making sure they put the language into practice. So thank you very much, and that's it.